Okay, so for the past couple of days, I've received a flood of emails from all of you. Dozens of reports coming in about how farmers just got screwed even more. Not only by Trump, but now Argentina pulling a fast one and trading with China. At first, I really didn't want to do another farmer video. But it's like passing a car accident on the highway. You don't want to look, but you just can't help it. And clearly, by popular demand from all of you, today's video is going to be an update on the farmer situation. Now, today's backdrop was sent to us by Philip. He took this photo from Blue Rocks, Nova Scotia. Thanks for sending this over, Philip. It's an awesome photo. And before we dive in, if you're new here and enjoy this content, a quick subscribe would be greatly appreciated. It helps my channel grow, and it also helps get this message out to more people. All right, let's get started.
With the crisis looming for hundreds of thousands of American soybean farmers, a text message to a cabinet secretary appears to show concern within the Trump administration.
China has not bought a single export cargo of beans so far this year, which is not very typical.
Soybeans are the largest American export to China in terms of value, the country purchasing $12.6 billion worth last year. But in retaliation for new tariffs, China has now stopped buying, dropping those sales to zero. American farmers feeling the pain.
When China quits buying, our prices go down.
You probably already know the main question I want to ask this guy. Who did you vote for? Because it does matter. And the follow-up question after that would be, why do you think China isn't buying anymore? And who do you put the blame on for that? It'd be interesting to hear what he said. Now we're going to move into the part where Argentina is now involved.
Now, this photo taken by the Associated Press at the UN last week is amplifying concern. It appears to show
Okay, sorry for the quick interruption. But seriously, how dumb can you be to have your phone wide open when there's probably dozens of cameras around? If you're checking messages, and they're likely pretty private, maybe you don't want to do it in full view. Or at least go buy one of those screen protectors that's not visible from every angle. First, it was a Signal group leak, or adding a news reporter into the chat, and now this. It makes me wonder what the next confidential message is going to be shared around the world. And I shouldn't even call it leaked. It was not leaked. It's just another idiot sharing it out in the open.
text message to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent from BR, widely considered to be Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins. The message reads, "We bailed out Argentina yesterday, and in return, the Argentines removed their export tariffs on grains, reducing their price, and sold a bunch of soybeans to China at a time when we would normally be selling to China." The message refers to a potential $20 billion aid package from the Trump administration to help stabilize Argentina's economy. But after that aid package was announced, Argentina suspended its soybean export tax and immediately sold shiploads of soybeans to China.
So let me get this straight. Trump gave his buddy in Argentina $20 billion in U.S. taxpayer money, not to stabilize the U.S. economy, but Argentina. Then Argentina turned around, suspended its export tax, and sells straight to China right away. Man, you can't make this shit up. Argentina walks away with $20 billion, sells a shitload of soybeans to China. And who's left with nothing? The U.S. farmers. And here's the part that gets me. How many of these U.S. farmers are still going to support Trump after this? Sadly, it's probably going to be a lot of them still.
Another blow to U.S. farmers. In the message sent to Bessent, BR says, "This gives China more leverage on us."
So we're going to make sure that our farmers are in great shape.
President Trump has suggested some money raised by tariffs could be used to help struggling farmers, and the Agriculture Secretary says the administration is working on a farmer aid package.
Now, I've heard plenty of farmers say that they don't want an aid package because that's socialism. But what they do want is their markets back. Well, here's the big problem. With China now buying from Argentina and Brazil, they don't need the U.S. farmers anymore. So good luck, U.S. farmers. I don't know what else to say. If you want a no-filters take on this whole situation, go watch my friend Josh over at The Enemy From Within. He's got a no-bullshit, unfiltered breakdown that I think you all need to hear, and the video was just published not too long ago. I'll drop a link in the description below, and check it out after you're done here, of course. And since we're talking about Josh, he's sitting at about 92,500 subscribers as I'm editing this video. Let's help push him to 100,000. I know a lot of you are already subbed to both of our channels, but if you're not, go hit that button and tell him Guard the Leaf sent you. All right, let's move on to the next farmer's report.
Joining us now, Arkansas soybean farmer Scott Brown. Scott, good to have you back. Like to see you on that combine.
Thanks for having me, Katie.
All right, so I thought it was interesting seeing what Brooke Rollins said to reporters there at the White House and the way that she spoke to the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent. Why might she be so worried about the soybean market?
Well, like we talked earlier, we went from 12 billion to zero. And then, as a farmer, we get up one morning and you give Argentina, which is our second biggest competition in the world. They're the largest exporters of soybean meal in the world. So I get up one morning, I turn the news on, and you give $20 billion of taxpayer money to my competition. And then the Chinese buy, I think the figure is 30 or 40 containers, ships, which is about 65,000 metric tons per ship, which is like 2.2 million bushels. So they buy 12 or $14 billion worth of soybeans from the Argentinians after the tax holiday. And here's the caveat to it. They give $2.30 over the November board, while I'm getting 50 cents under the November board. So that makes the Argentinian soybeans about $12.42 a bushel. I think that's the real figure they gave. So all my premium went.
Scott, I just lost you there at the end. You said your premiums go?
They all went to Argentina.
Yeah.
So does this U.S. farmer feel ripped off? Sure sounds like it. But not to worry. Trump also said you guys will be rich soon. Though I don't know who's going to buy your soybeans. But hey, I'm sure Trump has a plan, right?
All right. She says that don't worry. It's a time of uncertainty, Brooke Rollins does. Hang on. Relief is just around the corner. What would that relief be? Do you see it coming?
I don't know. I mean, how do you give me relief through the CCC with the government shutdown? We were going to plant canola this month. It's one of the few things we've found. It's moved into Arkansas. They're going to make renewable jet fuel and renewable diesel of it. We've never raised any. I had to get a loan from FSA to do it because it's an uninsurable crop through the federal crop insurance. But they would let me do it through the NAP insurance. Well, I can't even get the loan for it because there's nobody at the FSA office. There's nobody at the NRCS office. We shut the government down. They all went home.
And with the government shutdown in full swing, I don't think he or any other farmers are going to get any answers anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is golfing right now. I'll be honest, it's hard not to throw jabs at these farmers because everyone saw this coming. When you believe a lie, you get burnt. We're 9 months into this administration and the damage is already clear. Markets are gone, confidence is gone, and no leadership is stepping in to fix it. Instead, he's paying off his friends. I keep thinking, what's year 3 going to look like? By then, I can only hope that Canada and the rest of the world have already moved on. We've secured our partnerships with reliable trading partners. Partners that don't play games with tariffs and don't threaten their neighbors with 51st state rhetoric. Because while the US is busy eating itself from the inside, the rest of the world isn't going to wait for you.
I'm laughing because it sounds ridiculous. What do you do then? What do you do? You're a soybean farmer. Last time I talked to you, you said you believe you're going to break even. Are you still on track to break even?
I don't know. I've lost 10% of market share since we talked last. I've lost another $12 an acre for the difference in the market when we talked last to where I'm at today. The
That was like a month ago.
Every day. Yeah. Lost another $12 an acre since then on 500 acres.
How are your other farmers, for your friends, feeling? I know a lot of them are Trump supporters. Do they still feel good?
Everybody's pretty nervous. Everybody's pretty scared. There's some of the older guys that, farm out of their pocket. They're like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not giving back 30 years worth of work. Everybody's scared to death. I got friends that are bankers that, will tell you the bank examiners is already telling them, look, you're going to have to deal with these guys because their equipment's not going to be worth as much. Their land's not going to be worth as much. I mean, this is exactly like the movie from the 80s with Sam Shepard and Jessica Lange Country. That's what's going to go down. They're going to sell people out.
Maybe this was the plan all along. Bankrupt the farmers and take the land. I know people have said it before online, and I haven't really dug too deep into it, because at the end of the day, it's not my country. But I can't help but wonder, is all the chaos that we're experiencing part of a bigger plan? All the chaos, all the policies, all happening on purpose? Or is Trump really just that dumb? It's probably both. I'm just thinking out loud here, guys. Now, these next few clips are from US citizens themselves, talking about the situation in their own country.
So let me get this straight. Trump runs his mouth as usual, pisses off China. China then goes and buys soybeans from Argentina instead of us. Our farmers get screwed. Their profits vanish, and now they're begging for a bailout just to survive. Am I getting that right? And what does the American first president do? Does he send the money to help the farmers? Fuck no. He ships $20 billion to Argentina instead, while our farmers struggle to survive. Can somebody please tell me how this is America first? Because it seems to me like America last, and everybody but his diehard cultists can see it.
Some great news for farmers. Their prayers and protests have finally been seen by the Trump administration, and now they're going to be saved. The ones in Argentina, that is. This week, Trump's Treasury Secretary announced a $20 billion economic support deal for Argentina. And right after that, Argentina suspended its export taxes on soybeans. The result? They sold 20 shiploads of soybeans to China in just 2 days. Meanwhile, in the US, farmers are harvesting in panic mode with no buyers in sight. China hasn't purchased US soybeans since May. As Caleb Ragland, president of the American Soybean Association, put it, the frustration is overwhelming.
In case you don't know who Caleb is, I actually covered him in my last farmers video. And yeah, he's clearly a mega supporter. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can check it out on my channel.
I still don't understand what you and all the other Republican farmers are so frustrated about, Caleb. This is what you literally voted for. US soybean prices are falling, and farmers read headlines not about a trade agreement with China, but that the US government is extending $20 billion in economic support to Argentina. Well, unlucky for you, you're going to have to wait till the next Democratic president gets in. Trump is helping farmers, just not the ones in America. So much for America first.
America first, where are you at? Because Trump is sending $20 billion to bail out Argentina. Everyone on the right cried about Biden funding Ukraine and America first and why are we sending other people money and da-da-da-da-da. But when it comes to supporting the president of Argentina who has similar ideology to Trump, guess what happens? And this is all while U.S. farmers and agricultural groups are furious. They see this as subsidizing a foreign competitor, Argentina, while American farmers lose market share, especially in soybean exports to China. Senator Elizabeth Warren said the timing raises serious concerns that the purpose of this bailout is personal and political and comes at the expense of the American people. Remember when Trump said he was going to get the cost of goods down on day one, and he was going to end the wars on day one, he was going to stop inflation, he was going to reverse all of the things that Biden did to America that were so horrible, and now look what he's doing. He's giving a close ally of his, a bailout right before his election so that he can look good to the people who may vote for him.
You don't have to be a genius to see what Trump is doing. It's clear he's helping out his buddies. If I was a US citizen and I saw $20 billion of my tax dollars being handed off to one of Trump's friends, I'd be livid. I mean, hell, even that ballroom looks disgusting, and it's your money. And here's the kicker. After all this drama, stacked up on top of the government shutdown, Trump doesn't care about US farmers. You're going to be left holding a line, waiting for support that isn't coming anytime soon. And I'm sure by now, farmers, you don't want to hear the rest of the world, or the US citizens who didn't vote for Trump, saying, "I told you so." Now, I'll leave you with one more clip to close out this farmer's report. I'd love to say that this is my last farmer's video I'll have to make, but I'll be honest, I think the drama is only starting. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe, and help get this message out to more people. And share it with your friends too. Thanks for watching, and I'll leave you with this last farmer's video.
So in a story that no MAGA on this app will talk about, I'm going to. They won't talk about this because it's pissing off a lot of Republicans, a lot of conservatives. See, Donald Trump decided that he was going to make an agreement with Argentina to help bail out their financial system, sending $20 billion to Argentina. And why is this pissing people off? Well, that's not really America first, is it? Now, this caused another problem. Farmers. See, when Donald Trump decided to make this agreement with Argentina, it had a trickle-down effect. Let's look. The bailout sparked fury among farmers and Republicans. Why? It's because the soybean exports to China soar amid U.S. bailout, fueling tensions in the Trump camp. But where is China buying their soybeans? Is it from us? No. Argentina is selling their soybeans to China. China is not buying our soybeans. They have gone to zero from the United States. Last year, China bought $12.6 billion worth of soybeans from the United States. Today, it's zero because they're getting it from Argentina. China buys Argentina soybeans after tax drop, leaving U.S. farmers sidelined. Our soybeans are not even being purchased. But Donald Trump sent $20 billion to Argentina to bail them out. And Argentina turns around and says, well, I'm going to sell our soybeans to China. And China goes, fuck you, Donald Trump. And they are boycotting soybeans from America. And the farmers are paying the price. This is what happens when you fuck around. Now you're finding out, farmers. This is what happens when Donald Trump has policies that are not benefiting Americans, especially our farmers. And now Donald Trump is talking about what? He is talking about having to bail out our farmers. Why? Because of his decisions. Because he always stands with our farmers. Yeah, you stand with our farmers when twice now you have had to bail the farmers out. Why? Because of your decisions, Donald Trump. That is why. You put them in that position. And noticed in this, he blames Joe Biden for something he has done. Pathetic.